this is something that I don't think a lot of people put a lot of energy into, but thinking about, okay, the neurochemical response to the things that I think. And so I'm working on a book now, and basically what I'm trying to walk people through is you can take control of your neurochemistry. Now, a lot of it is going to be beforehand. You're going to have to do the work of building in the value system, of beliefs, of coming up with a narrative, things that allow you to think in a certain way. What does lifting mean to me? What does it mean to set this PR? What is the narrative that I'm telling myself? How do you think about self-narrative? And are the things you've been saying here, is it the actual dialogue that you're saying as you're getting under the weight? Like, do you have things that you return to? I'm not like other people, that kind of stuff?
The narrative is always fake. You know, I think that I don't maybe always know that it's fake, but I need to create it. You know, I hear things that other people say about my gym or about my teammates or about me, and I let it build up. You know, I let it build up over time. I'm 42 now, and I, stopped competitive powerlifting, or at least competitive as far as I would describe it. I fell with a 1,085 squat a few years ago, and that just wiped me out for a while. It was, that 3-month period was really rough in terms of, physically, mentally. I couldn't even put on a shoe for 3 months. I just try to dig deep, and I just try to think, like, people have it a lot worse, and like, you chose to do that. It was all choices. It's just I chose to do that. I'm privileged to be able to lift the weights that I'm able to lift, and I'm thankful that I'm able to do those things. And every once in a while, something doesn't really go your way, but what am I going to do? Like, sit around and cry about it? I'd rather continue to figure out a way to forge forward and build momentum.
That's really interesting. So I want to give people a little more context on you. So obviously what you've achieved in the world of the physical is extraordinary. You also have a very successful business. You've written a book, but it's like you're self-identified fat kid. You're not able to physically go where you want to go. You're not learning in the way that maybe society champions. So I'm guessing early we're feeling a bit like an outsider. You even said your older brothers didn't want anything to do with you. So how do you begin to construct the feeling powerful, believing you can do it, channeling the aggression? Like, how do you turn everything on its head and end up accomplishing? You hold 2 patents. It's like you've done all this extraordinary stuff. So how do we start in this place that's very atypical and end up where you end up?
You just have to try to figure out a way. So like the way that I may come up with a solution may look a lot different than the way somebody else may come up with a solution. With myself, I had a lot of trouble reading. I still have a lot of trouble reading. So I'm like, okay, not learning is not an option. I have to learn. I got to learn something every day. My car is like a mobile classroom. I'm always listening to something, always listening to a podcast or even sometimes an audiobook. It just really depends on the mood and depends on the day, but I still have to figure out ways of learning. I still have to figure out ways to persevere. So part of the biggest block for me, part of the thing that held me down and it kept me back for so long, was buying into other people's ideas. So I think self-doubt is something that may settle in on me because learning was a little harder for me. It was more challenging. And so I need to figure out ways to work around